In this build, I'm going to make the little workbench with the drawer. So I scrounged through my wood and found some scrap pieces that are 1.5 inches thick, so that should make a fairly nice top. I'm going to use biscuits here on the joints. I find that it helps keep everything aligned during glue up, and also it really makes nice joints that don't open up later. It also helps to use plenty of glue. So you might notice in the background that the canopy isn't up yet. That's because sometimes I work on different parts of the project while I'm waiting for glue to dry. And lots of clamps. Sawdust works pretty well to clean up the glue off the table. Next I'll make the little braces that hold up the bench top. These are very similar to the ones that I made for the canopy. They're just made out of thicker material and they're different size. Again, I'll use spray adhesive to hold them in place while I mill out the part. Then I can cut them out on the bandsaw. And some sanding. Now I can remove the pattern and use the router to put a little chamfer on all the edges. Now that the glue is dry on the top, I can take the clamps off. And more sanding. These little sticks will help keep the template from sticking to the wood before I'm ready. Then I can cut it out. The pine wood gums up the sanding belt, so you see me cleaning it really often. Now I can take the pattern off and work on the edge treatment. I didn't show all the cutting here, but I'm making an angled edge to the bench top. and then routing a slight chamfer on the top edge. Next, I'll start on building the drawer. This is a drawer side. I'm cutting a dovetail into the end where it meets up with the drawer front. This is the back of the drawer. I'm cutting the slots that the dovetail pins will fit into from the sides. Here I'm edging the side pieces where the pins will get cut. Here I can use a little backing board to keep the pin from chipping out on the back side. And now I'm cutting the pins. Isn't that cool? Here I'm cutting a dado in the lower edge of the back that the drawer bottom will fit into. Now I'm cutting a dado in the lower edge of the side and the other side. Here you can see I'm dropping it on because I don't want the dado to cut into the pin. Now I can cut the large chamfer into the drawer front. Wait, that's not safe. Well, that doesn't feel safe either. Okay, that's better. So I was trying to get the drawer front to be similar design as what I cut into the canopy edges. Now I can cut the dado into the drawer front for the drawer bottom. Here I'm cutting the drawer bottom from some scrap wood. Got to make sure it's square. And more sanding. Now I'm going to do a dry fit to make sure everything fits together the way it's supposed to. Putting in the first side. And the second side. And the drawer bottom. And the back. This might be a tight fit, but it's what we want. There we go. Yeah, that looks good. Now I'll put it together with glue. Here I'm cutting the supports for the drawer. This is the bottom side of the workbench. Here I'm measuring for where the drawer is going to be mounted. I'm going to connect the drawer supports with pocket screws. And now I can square them up and install them. Here I'm measuring for the supports that will connect the deck to the wall. And cutting them. Okay, time to install the drawer slides. Those little sticks are just temporary. They're to hold the slides in the right place so that the drawer will be spaced correctly from the bottom of the deck top. And finally the drawer itself. And now I can take out the spacers. Yep, I think that'll work. Okay, let's get this thing installed. First I'll clamp some temporary legs on to hold it up at the correct height so I can attach it to the wall. Okay, I just need to raise it up an extra ½ inch. And it's attached. Next I can attach the right hand brace. Well, I guess the clamp isn't going to work, so I'll just do it without. Now I just need to do the same to the other side. So I know in the last video I said I was going to put the lights in, but I didn't have all the materials to get it done, so I will get that in on the next video. Then I can put the drawer in, and that completes this part of the build. In the next video, we'll finally get the lights in and build the French cleat board. So stay tuned.